We're going to go down from where we're standing down into that draw and check out those pines and see if we can find any elk to spook them. And here's Brian babbling about something. There goes Brian. He's going to go ahead and set up while I sit back here and hoochie mama.
All right, this morning, a big bull elk came down the hillside here, and he came right out into the clearing. He looked around, and he didn't stay long, but he was beautiful. He came back on up slowly. Kim hoochied him, and then they started their conversation, and he went all the way up on the hill, but he was talking.
He was probably a medium-sized bull, just past a spike. After a very steep climb last night, which was completely fruitless, we didn't find any elk sign or sightings. We just hiked a really steep terrain. We're not going back there tonight. We got high hopes because we saw a bull this morning and spoke to us. He was too big to shoot, but real cool anyway. And so we are going out separately to 2 different ponds, hopefully shoot the old ladies tonight and talk at you with blood on our faces next time.
It's feeling good. We talked to one this morning, really amped me up, really gave me fever, the elk fever, and we're shooting perfect. So I think tonight is the night. I'm going to a spot where we've been talking to a guy that's been sitting there last 2 nights, and he's seen them every night. So tonight should be the night.
It just hailed buckets out there and rained. I'm sitting up in this tree waiting for the elk to come. Forgive me, elk hunting gods, for I have sinned. I have sinned the great sin that one should never do. And I will never drink water again, so that I never have to pee again. Because I was in the perfect blind. The pond is over here. You saw me. I was in the great setup. I showed the viewers what the great setup was. I was sure this was going to happen. I willed this to happen. The perfect entry point for elk to come through was right in front of me. I was telling myself the whole time during the storm, after the storm, I was like, you're doing so good sitting so still. Because normally I can't always do that. I didn't even eat snacks. I sat for so long, I had to pee. I get up, I grab my pee funnel. I don't even get up, I'm like on my knees, shuffling. I'm gonna pee over here in the corner. I'm starting to pee. I literally have my pants undone. And to my left come 2 elk. The first in line, the most perfect spike you've ever seen, because his spikes were 1.5 feet straight up. No question I could shoot him. Velvet. And what do? I obviously put the pee funnel down, pants open, that's fine. I grab my range and range him at 35 yards, which I already knew, and moved too fast, and then they went. I sat down and cried. I was sitting in shame until Brian came over and told me that he was half naked, missing 2 cows. We need to pay penance tonight because tomorrow there's going to be a slaying.
Yes.
There must be a slaying, a reckoning, and I am not drinking a single drop except for that beer.
There's not enough whiskey to drown my shame tonight.
Out there, it's a nice day, and it just starts to hail. The sky opens up,
and I've got ice water running down to my back. I've got no way. There's nothing. There's no trees. Maybe I should have ran into some bushes and stayed warm. But so it ends, and the sun comes out, and it just feels like the perfect weather to be hunting. So I sit there and I'm shivering, and I start to hear crash, crash. And I hear him off in the distance. And I'm like, okay, I gotta stay out here. But I keep getting colder and colder. And I'm down on my haunches. My legs fall asleep. My teeth start chattering. I'm just chattering. And I'm finally like, okay, nothing's coming. I tweeted a couple times. Nothing's coming, showing itself.
You tweeted?
I tweeted.
That's a social media.
Well, it brings in the bulls too. Not this early, but because they weren't coming. They weren't coming in. And so I'm like, okay, my cold overrid it. It's like I gotta go. And I strip down my off my cold clothes. And I remember I have a t-shirt in another shirt in my bag. And so I get all my clothes off, and all of a sudden, crash! It sounds like a train is coming out of the trees. And I look down the valley, and about 200 yards down, a bull, 2 elks, and a calf run across the valley that's about maybe 60 yards wide, and then they go crashing up into the wood line. And I'm like, and I hear them turn, and they're coming right towards me, and they're crashing. I'm naked, and I'm like, oh, and I grab and I get my shirt on, and I had taken off my trigger. I get my trigger on, and right about when I get my trigger on, I grab my bow, and I'm starting to get it ready, and the bull rushes in and stops about 30 yards and just posts up and is just looking around. And so I'm fumbling, I'm trying to get my arrow on, and I finally get it, and I'm trying to be real calm. I get it, and I start to like pull back, and it flips off, and I'm just shaking. I'm trying to do it, and I can't even use my fingertips. I'm doing it with my whole hand, and I'm just feeling I have no control over my hands. So here come the cows right behind him. He's sitting there, and comes the calf and the first cow, and they were 30 yards. I could have had an easy shot if I could have pulled my shit together. And there comes the other one, and then, you know, I'm trying to get it together, and I finally get my arrow, everything all clicked, and I look up, and the bull looks right at me, and I just freeze. And I freeze and kind of get down, and he's staring at me. And meanwhile, the cows go to the watering hole, and they start dancing around in the water hole, which is like 45 yards away. Easy shot. And he's just looking at me. Finally he looks at them, he walks towards them a little bit, and I go to pull on them. I can hardly pull. My arms are shaking like this, and I get it pulled back. I look through my sight, and my sight's going like this. It's just going... and I'm shaking, and I'm like, okay, get your shit together. And I can't get my shit together, and
Stop
I finally
shaking.
just have to go and stop. And I watched him. I could not shoot him. I had to watch him walk away. Easy shots. All day easy shots. I could have hit it. Nothing. So I just had to stomp up and just be disgusted with myself and go up to Kim, and then her story was worse than mine.
Didn't sleep much last night. Brian slept like a baby
Slept like a rock.
while I was just pulsating with the heart of the elk in my spirit. And now I'm ready to go and shoot through the heart. How about you, babe?
Well, that's a little straightforward. Yeah, I'm ready to go get
Through
one.
the heart.
Yeah, I've pictured it 1,000 times. I just need to go down there and get one now.
Yeah, no kidding. I've got a new plan, which is to not run to each other when we get one, because now we realize we could each get one. So we're going to discuss in just a few minutes the strategy for exactly how that should go.
The valley is just full of elk. We just need to...
Yesterday it was barren, and now it's
There was nothing. We're like, we're leaving this place, and now we're just like, we're staying here until we get one, because we just saw so many, and
It's
yeah.
Monday, and nobody else is out there except for us, so we're out.
We're out.
Wish us luck.
Mm-hmm.
You're on.
All right, we're gonna go down there and have fun. I think we're gonna get them tonight. I think they're gonna come back. That's all I can say. I said that the night before. I love hunting. I don't care if they come back, because I'm having a good old time. Let's do it. Let's stop talking.
Take a moment to admire Brian's handsome attire and good looks. You can't see him because he's in camo. But look at how fine he is.
I'm ready to hunt.
All right, that's true, viewer. We're going out. It's the afternoon hunt. We are ready. Separate water holes again tonight. We'll see you next with elk on the ground. Check out this view that we walk by every day.
Nice commute to the office.
Well, viewer, the ups and downs. The ups and downs of this is bullshit.
Yeah.
We were elated yesterday and we didn't see a thing today.
Nothing. We just sat out there. It's discouraging.
Like bums.
Like bums, just sitting around. We could have stayed back here and played cards.
I don't know what to tell you except for just that it's the low right now, viewer.
Yeah.
The only good thing is that we're not where you are, which is not here.
Not here, because this is beautiful. We
Yeah.
got stars.
There's that.
And we will have ups again. I'm pretty confident.
And we are making popcorn tonight and then we get to snuggle, so there's a tiny bit of joy at the end of this tunnel, but it really should have ended in elk
Nobody's-
blood.
Nobody's going to feel sorry for us. Just look at this. This is where they'd be. This sure looks like elk country.
Look what I just found. I just jumped an elk. I think it was an elk. We're walking doing a push during the day, and because look what I just found. Fresh poop, moist with flies on it. Pretty nice. And right next to it is this big track. I'm not sure whether I should feel depressed about this or elated.
All right, we were in a hurry to get back from town to our hunting site. We were a little late to get out today, which is sad to us. And look what is in the middle of the trail. But Kim, like a maniac beaver here, is getting her done. All right, take a break, babe. Let's see what you got done. Look at that! Look at that! I'm gonna give it to her. Let her take a break. There you go.
Yikes. Next thing on the list.
Chainsaw?
Chainsaw. All right, viewer, we're feeling a little bit disarrayed because we just got back from town and there's shit's everywhere. But we've decided to commit to this area. We're gonna be here for the week. Tonight might be the night, it might not be.
We got some reassurance from Rob, which was nice to hear.
Just to know we're not crazy.
No, we're not crazy, that we're doing it right. It's just the way of elk hunting. It's ups and downs. I'm going back to the same hole, I think, tonight. I might meander down to the third.
We'll see.
That's it.
Okay. What just happened? What are you talking about?
I've got a cow. They came in about, but I'm not going to feel good until I find it.
Okay.
She ran.
Okay.
That is an amazing roller coaster right there.
Wait, when was this?
This was 8-5.
Fuck, man,
Have you not heard him yelling down there?
yeah, I was just like praying that you were at second
So-
pond.
They all came in. All of them were drinking. Big bowl standing right at the water, and she was standing right behind him. And I couldn't get a shot at her because the bull kept just kind of shadowing her. And I'm like, the bull, okay, I can shoot him all day. And finally, she jumped up on the side, and she was at 50. I'm like, I don't know, 50. And I pulled, and I hit her right. You remember how we were saying
Yeah,
aim
yeah.
for that middle? But it didn't drop, so I hit her right there. And she kind of fumbled, and she went down, and she dropped into the water.
Shut the fuck.
And she just lay there, and I'm like, yes, that's how it's supposed to happen. That's supposed to how it's supposed to happen. They ran up on the side, and they just started chirping and
Barking,
yelling and
yeah.
barking at her. One started barking over here. One started barking on the other hill, and I lost it. I mean, I honestly cried. I was like, they were all barking, and she was just laying there. And so I just did nothing. 10 minutes go by. She hops
Okay, let's
up.
go.
Hi, it's next morning after the hunt. We couldn't find her last night. We looked for 4 hours. And I was getting so scared. I mean, I've been in a sour mood because the worst thing in the world is to injure an animal. And I walked the line, got all the way to the top and started walking back, and I saw
Yeah, this is our last night, our trailing it. We marked it every little bloodline. We were on hands and knees.
Oh my God.
Like
Kim is a tracker.
ninjas.
Look at this. She found little
just-
blood spots.
Found miracle blood spots. It was
But I
insane.
found her up there, and all that energy of that fear of losing her. It's a lot.
Yeah,
She's right up there.
she just laid down.
She did. She
She
laid
just
down.
needed
She
to lay
looked
down.
pretty peaceful.
Yeah.
So let's go up there.
All right. All right, we found her. Brian found her way up on this little kind of hill. She's just laying down to rest. Brian just like went Rambo and sought her out. She's just a beauty. She's absolutely
Yeah, she was heading for the top of the hill.
inspiring. Just totally, we're in awe right now.
Oh, they look so big.
We're just amazed, viewer. We're so happy. We gotta get her opened up and start the work. Okay, viewer, we are halfway done. We just got the 2 hindquarters in bags, doing the best that we can. Where is it? There we go. Brian's still chipping away. Whoops, I don't know how to turn this around. Anyways, here. That's our elk. There's Bri. We're learning major skills right now.
This is amazing.
Good lesson number 1, bring a better knife.
Yeah, several.
And we want Christmas presents. They're called knives. And what else do we want for Christmas?
present with that sharpener we gave you, we want it back.
We're having a good time. We're feeling amazing and happy and blessed. All right. Well, viewer, we're at the scene of the situation. The pond is behind me. Brian's blind is right over there. He's just gonna go do a little mock situation so he knows how far the shot was, just to be absolutely sure for curiosity's sakes. He had the most perfect shot, like pretty much possible. The arrow and the broadhead stayed in. It broke the arrow. It stayed inside the body the whole time, right above the top of the gut bag, and so like through a bunch of vitals and the liver. Yeah, the liver. But the girl just did not bleed enough until the end, and it was just crazy. She just went on, and yeah, man, it was tough. Anyways, we just cut her up. It took us 3 hours. We've got 3 backpacks, and we're going to try to take it in one haul. There you go.
Good morning, viewers.
Hi, viewers.
It's about 6 o'clock. We're gonna go
walk a lot today. We're going to walk a long draw down and then come back a long way.
We heard them bugling last night, maybe, or it could have been other hunters, but we're hoping to hear some bugling that will give us some direction.
Yeah, it'd be really nice if they start talking to us, and then we'll have something we can work with.
Yeah, that's all. You can barely see them, but we can see 2 elk over there. Right on the edge of those pines. And then down in that valley, we're listening to a huge bugle. It's just howling. And those 2 elk over there don't know what to do because they kind of know what something's over here. And we've been hooching them, but we're too far away and we're like way out in the open. So we're just watching. That's some nice fresh poop. That's what I like to see.
Hey Kim, what you doing?
Sharpening our knives at the risk of being overconfident that we're going to get another one. Making sure they're prepared.
Can you be overconfident?
Yes, you can. I don't like to be too confident because then the elk spirit think that maybe I don't deserve an elk or something. It's like going with the empty cooler. That's the thing. I like to have to be unprepared, and then it's like, surprise, you got an elk. It's so great.
The elk can sense
They can
cockiness.
exactly. Over preparedness kind of makes me think it's like similar to cockiness. Like, I don't know. Am I going to get an elk tonight? Maybe, maybe not. The reality is probably not, but maybe so.
And it's nice to be prepared with a good sharp knife.
And then it's also nice to be surprised with a big, sweet elk.
Perfect.
You seem to be pretty relaxed.
I'm pretty relaxed.
You don't seem to be too worried about putting your camo on or getting rid of your smell.
No, I'm pretty comfortable. It's a peaceful feeling after you get an elk. I mean, I know we got the elk, but there's still a certain thing about being the one that actually pulled the trigger that gives you a sense of serenity.
All right, viewer, it's day 8. Back to Wednesday. We've been here a full week. And Brian's got his cow now, so I'm going out for either a cow or a spike or anything that's brown and has 4 legs. Rhymes with relk. That's it. Going to sit on the first water hole. Brian's going to come with me. Maybe look out for something special. I'm going to use his good luck charm. He's in charge of the hoochie. Got sharp broadheads on, proof of that right here. And that's it. Bri?
I got nothing.
You got
This is
nothing.
tonight. We're going to go down there. We're going to get it. We're going to come back.
Or maybe not, because we wouldn't want to be too cocky.
Oh, the cock.
Nothing. Completely fruitless. Now we're just cooking dinner. Well, we hunted a few more days after Brian got his elk and didn't see much. The flies came out and it was hot. So inevitably, we packed up and came home with our elk in a bunch of nice, clean packages.
But with all said and done, Utah elk hunting 2015 was a success. Wonderful.